Hey, I'm Kimberly with Elixir Mentor. Jacob recently added recruitment services to help companies hire pre-vetted Elixir devs. I help with company outreach, so if you're hiring, I may be reaching out, or you can connect with us anytime at elixirmentor.com.
Secure your Elixir apps with Paraxial.io. From code analysis and bot defense to dependency checks, they've got you covered. Elixir first design with GitHub integration. Elevate your security at Paraxial.io. Testing. What's up? I'm Jacob Blitzo, your Elixir Mentor, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Elixir Mentor podcast. This is where we discuss everything related to Elixir, from interviews with enthusiasts, pioneers in the community, to innovative projects and libraries shaping Elixir's future. Today, Daniil Popov returns to discuss the CyanView project, bringing Phoenix LiveView to embedded devices for real-time camera controls in professional video production. I think I got that right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
You're like, kinda. You kind of don't know what we're talking about. But
No, I mean, I'll try to summarize, because a lot of people mixing shading and grading. So what we do, we work primarily with the live broadcast events. So
Okay.
when there is no post-production, so you're live, 60 cameras on, and then you switch the view. So what we do the remote camera control plus shading.
Okay.
So that's our, let's say, main kind of
All
goal
right.
and idea.
So
And as well,
what is shading though? Like, tell me that.
brought so the demo. So that's my
Cool.
kit, and I'll show a bit later how all of that works together. So shading, essentially, when you need to adjust two cameras. So once you filming or going live, or broadcasting from two different cameras, different models, different lenses, a different producer, a different manufacturer. I don't know. You have so many different setups, right? And your goal, at the RTC conference, I was giving this example. So when you're watching football match, right? So the grass always same green from any angle, from any
Okay.
camera you see, right? So before they go live, they need to shade the camera so that the picture is matching. And that's what we do on that simple example.
Yeah, it's such a simple problem to solve, right?
Don't say that out loud. But
Oh no! I'm being sarcastic. I don't think it's simple,
Yeah, joke.
because I struggle just doing live streams with OBS and two people. So
Yeah, and essentially, the whole idea started to have this remote control panel, which I just showed, but which support not just one camera. So, for example, Sony, they're known for the let's say entertainment broadcasting Sony cameras. They have their own RCP, but they only support Sony, right? And then you have Canon, who supports only Canon cameras. And our goal was to have one like unified unit which can control multiple cameras at once, like different manufacturers, different producers, and as well, in the production, you do not upgrade cameras like iPhones. Every year you get a new one, because it's, I don't know, $1,000 right, in America, and you get the latest all the time. So if you have, let's say, 20 cameras, 20 different lenses, that becomes expensive. And as I understood, the cycle when they update the things, it's like 3, 4, maybe 5 years. And as well, like old cameras.
well, you're probably spending like 20 grand a camera too, if not more, right?
At 20 grand can be just one controller for the zoom.
Oh yeah, that's wild.
Like some setups can be even $1 million probably.
Dang.
So, for example, if you saw during the not football, but I guess in proper English it's soccer, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like the English one. And you probably saw those cameras like with the 200x zoom, like when they follow the ball from, I don't know, 150 meters. So yeah, those setups can be quite expensive. And and most of those cameras, like the old ones, they were not designed to be controlled over IP, like over the internet. So they had maybe some serial connectors, or I don't know, some exotic protocols with which we're dealing. And we became the ones who are aggregating all of this and letting control from a single device.
That's wild. That sounds like an undertaking. Like, I'm thinking about how many cameras are out there. Or is it like kind of consolidated to the industry? Do they always have the same couple brands and same models, or is it just...
That's quite opposite. So
Yeah,
all of
that's
them
what I
have
figured.
everyone is trying to have the vendor lock, so if it's Sony, it's Sony. If it's Canon, it's Canon. If it's ARRI, it's ARRI. And all of them using completely different protocols. Even from one model to like another model, it might change. So usually it's not a lot of changes, right? But sometimes, obviously, it can be changed. Or even if they updated their firmware, that as well causes trouble.
With like systems, like with it being more common to want to control over like IP, are you seeing some like protocols being created between company manufacturers, or do they just do whatever they want still?
No, I mean, it's a Wild West, honestly.
Yeah, that's crazy. That sounds horrible.
I mean, it is what it is. What should we say? But yeah. Anyway, so we have multiple devices. Just let me see if I can pull maybe some diagram or something.
I'm curious, how long has like CyanView been a project?
I think next year, officially, as a company, we're supposed to celebrate 10 years.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Very cool. And when did they start using Elixir and Phoenix LiveView?
LiveView, we started quite recently. We used to have one pilot project for our color corrector box, not the RCP unit, not with the controls, but with the color correction.
Okay.
Just let me share the screen
and Daniel's back, guys. We got him.
I didn't solve the issue with the browser, but at least Safari let me do that.
All right, 1 second. Let me get your screen showing. And then there we go. Your screen is live.
All right. So yeah, sorry for the delay. Not sure what was the
and if you can narrate and explain as much as you can, because this does go on podcast channels after this. Yeah,
definitely. So we have multiple devices which we developed in-house and put a bit of a different versions of the Elixir code on them. So our primarily, let's say, flagman unit is RCP, remote control panel, which I was showing like a few frames before, and I'll show a bit later as well. So then we have Rio, which is a copy of RCP on that small device, but without any controls. And I will explain you later why we're using it and what's the main purpose of it. So Neo, this is just for the I/O routing. It's just the like a PCB port in a way. Then we have the VP4 from. It's already out of date and end of life, but that's where the LiveView actually started. So that was, I think, 1.5 years ago, where we tried to make the interface in it. It was not very fast by two reasons. First, we have a very tiny processor there. It's a 32 bits ARM processor, like 2 cores. And LiveView, which was done initially there, was not very responsive. And
So
that was
like
my...
on the RCP, like that little screen, that's LiveView that we're seeing?
No, that's C code. It has nothing to do with the
Okay.
LiveView yet.
I see.
So on the VP4 for our color corrector box, that's how the color corrector looks like in a way. So you have different tumblers like gains, gamma, black, level, saturation, detail, and our, in a way, custom multimetrics where you can adjust saturation and hue of each color vector, like individually. And this page was not very responsive. So once you do some changes, because as you see, VP4 doesn't have any controls. So it has FPGA module in it. It has 4 channels. That's why VP4. And essentially, each channel, it's SDI, but the older one. So it supports 1080p, I think 59 frames. And now we are working on a new, bigger box, which is supposed to be 4K 60 FPS plus HDR. So it's supposed to have SDI 16, I believe, 16 gigabit throughput, and then it's going to go through the FPGA module as well. And that was our interface for the VP4, which was running on the device itself. And I will show you, because now we don't have any VP4 units. Unfortunately, I couldn't prepare VP4 for this stream, like for the demo. But we brought this multimetrics component to RCP application as well. There was one bug with this LiveView, which we found. Actually, recently, it was running fine for 1 year on a lot of different devices, but so David just brought back one thing. So once you close your laptop or it goes to sleep, and your socket goes disconnected.
Oh yeah.
And once it gets connected back, it sends the updates of a wrong state.
Oh, does it just go back to like the default view, the default settings?
Worse, it sends the updates from the form, because all of this thing, which I mean, except till the color format, it's one form with a lot of sliders. Sliders are identical. I created one small component, put macros in, like all the events are identical, right? But what happened, and I have in the code, prevent submit action, right? So which means if you press enter or you do whatsoever, nothing happens. And we don't use blur because we want to send those like 0.1 decimal steps to the camera to have a smooth picture change, right? Because if you're gonna use blur, so it's going to happen like that. So you want to avoid that. But when socket connects back, it sends the update event individually per like each of that slider. And if it was changed while socket was disconnected, it doesn't know about latest state, and it sends the wrong update. So essentially what you have to do to handle socket reconnect manually and tell LiveView what to do with that. So that was my mistake, which I overlooked. But it was super hard to find, like, to spot this bug.
So what are you doing with that? Are you just holding like local state and then sending the update?
No, I'm just preventing. So you can handle the reconnect event.
So so if there's no socket, you can't change anything, essentially, or no?
No. So we have the socket, right, which connects the unit, the server, and your laptop. But then as the main event broker, let's say, in a way, we use Mosquito, which is MQTT. And the latest state of the device is actually on MQTT and not in the socket. So socket doesn't know what happened on the device. And that's what was causing the let's say, synchronization between your interface and actual device. But what was happening and causing the issue that socket on reconnect sends the updates to the MQTT. Like it submits the update. It triggers the handle info in a LiveView. So yeah, essentially we discovered this like recently. I mean, I still need to test this bug properly and write out like the report what happened and how we prevented this. But yeah, so it was just resetting. So now if I refresh the page, it's going to reset because it's not connected to real device. So you cannot get the real values back.
Yeah, you can't sync with the hardware.
Yeah, so this is our second iteration of the LiveView on the VP4, and like the current version we're quite happy with. So especially this is our custom SVG component. I even made it so that it changed the colors. So you see there is like opacity goes like almost gray, but if you move it up, it becomes oversaturated. If you move it that, so you change the hue. So yeah, apparently this is what people use. And as well, since it's a color corrector box, we have the 3D LUT files. And you apply the precompiled 3D LUT files to the FPGA, which is running on a device. So that's how you do the color correction in a like color shading without delays. I don't know, like some people on conference were asking me like, what's the delay? I mean, there's like no delay.
That's awesome.
That's you might lose one frame, but you kind of have delay.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So yeah, that was our second iteration of a LiveView on the device. What we had to implement, the server-side rendering is a bit expensive, especially once you run it on 32 ARM core with a 600 megahertz, I think. I had to batch all the events. So since it's one form, I made it as how it's called, embedded Acto. So it's not the real Acto. It's not connected to the database or anything. It's just like one Acto schema.
Okay.
And we have a throttler which is doing UI updates back from the device every 100 milliseconds. So it gives you this smooth, in a way, experience. You don't need to re-render the whole thing on every change and stuff like that. So especially we had issue with multimetrics, because each vector, it's an individual topic, and we have some commands on the RCP unit, I'll show soon, that you can update all the values at the same time. So you can expand all the vectors, and then you would need to re-render it constantly, and it doesn't make sense. So so the simple throttler help us to make the LiveView be a bit more responsive and like smoother, even on such a tiny device and a tiny processor. So that was our first experiment with the LiveView. And then, so on the RCP, we now have the companion app. I can show you. That's our main configuration board where you add cameras. So at the moment, we're using same scenario as was used on Beijing Olympic Games. So that's not my RCP unit, which I have.
Can you? Oh, you're sharing just your browser, huh? No, you're sharing your whole screen. Can you shrink your browser window a little bit? Just because our heads are in each corner and it kind of cuts off the top left and top right.
Like.
Perfect. Yep, that's great.
So yeah, so this RCP is actually in our office in Belgium. And I kindly asked Nicola, one of my colleagues, to set up and plug real cameras. So there is real Canon in the office and real 4K. I think it's Atom, if I'm not mistaken.
It's really cool. So I'm sorry not to interrupt, but
yeah.
So like your RCP unit that connects to like the web or whatever, which gives you the real-time access. You connect to that hardware. Essentially.
So it's a bit complicated. So at the moment, you see the configuration screen of my RCP, which is connected through our custom relay to my office RCP. Okay. And this office RCP is directly plugged to the same network as Canon.
That makes sense. Okay. So those cameras are directly plugged into your hardware as like a channel
through the IP.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So it's all over IP. It's all over Ethernet or network. Okay. So
yeah, and now this is not LiveView. So this interface I'm as well rewriting in Phoenix LiveView slowly. Currently it's Elm plus socket, but we would like to kind of unify our Elixir usage, and so for all the front end related parts, we will have Phoenix LiveView, and I was talking about Camera Companion app. Essentially, you can run. This is now LiveView, and I will show you how it works. You're able to add all your cameras, which you already configured to the screen and automatically. It finds all the cameras based on the MQTT. And then you will have the dashboard where you can see all the values from your cameras. And more important, you will be able as well to control everything from the web page. So it can be run on a device, or it can be run locally on your machine. So if you have really a lot of cameras, let's say, I don't know, 50, 100, of course you can utilize the power of your laptop to do the rendering part, and you don't need to run it on a device. So you can aggregate everything in one place and use your computing power, which I hope bigger than 32 bits ARM processor, and you can control all the cameras from here. So yeah, for example, if I change the iris, you'll see live on the dashboard. It's changing the iris value. For example,
pretty cool. Now, is that the device you were just holding? Is that?
Yeah, that's using this device. We're controlling another RCP in the office, and that RCP controls the real camera in the office.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, that's essentially how it works, and you can see that there is almost no delay. Like you see everything happens instantly.
That's amazing.
That's because we use MQTT, and that's our source of truth in our small distributed system. So yeah, for example, you can change Where is that? So you can go to the full view where you have different layouts, maybe compact grid. So yeah, you can see I'm changing the color temperature, or we can change the all the RGB values and things like that. Or you can do it from here and change it with your mouth, or you can do more accurately and do +1. Yeah, we as well can send the tally signal. So, for example, in your app, which you're using for the call right now, there is like this red on air, right? If I go to, I don't remember, where is that? Camera, tally. So yeah, I can send as well that it's on air, or if it's on call, you will be able to see it as well in your interface. Yeah, or you can send it from the interface. So all the tally signals. You as well are able to control the zoom, and we have the PTZ cameras, which has the head which you can control, rotate, tilt, pan. You're able to do it from here now as well. And let me actually show the color metrics. As well, what's important. So if I change the device on the RCP, it like LiveView can follow it, and it will restore, you see, the same state and same position, which is quite useful. So everything more or less smooth. And
this is really cool.
Yeah, so LiveView allows us to do quite a lot of custom things, and that's our, let's say, next step in the software, because we support a lot of different cameras. And for example, you will have one camera which has, I don't know, some special grain effect, right? And none of other cameras support it. So for us, it doesn't make sense to add a physical knob, right, to the device. But what I can do, I can make a custom component for them, which they will be able to control from the LiveView, instead of, us doing the full cycle of, putting it on the device, doing a separate software for that, doing new update, and etc. So now we will be able to move even faster.
That's really cool.
I can show you. I think the color metrics was quite interesting one. Just let me find Paint.
Here, I'm gonna put us on hold for a second, and we'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Kimberly with Elixir Mentor. Jacob recently added recruitment services to help companies hire pre-vetted Elixir devs. I help with company outreach, so if you're hiring, I may be reaching out, or you can connect with us anytime at elixirmentor.com.
Are we back?
We're back.
All right. So yeah, that's what I was saying. On our VP4, those things were taking really a while when you update all the vectors at the same time. So as you can see, just like I'm rotating it on a device, and you see live updates on the screen.
That's awesome.
So that's how our color metrics component is working. Obviously, you can change the individual.
What happens when someone's sitting at the computer dashboard dragging things around and you're trying to fix it through your handheld?
Device going to win, because it takes the last value from the MQTT.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if I control it from here, I still need to get the MQTT acknowledgement back. that it was like registered. So that's why you see dragging maybe. I mean, it's smooth, but here, like the changes are not instant. Like there is still small delay with actual numbers here, because I still need to get the acknowledgement back from the MQTT side that event was processed.
We got Mike saying, this is wild. I just read up on CyanView. My little pea-sized brain could not comprehend probably 95% of what it would take to build this system. This is absolutely awesome. Nice work, Daniel. I agree, Mike. I'm just sitting here impressed right now.
So here, I don't know, I just made a random. By the way, I used only Tailwind, Daisy UI, Phoenix, no Ecto, no SQLite, no nothing. What else?
Do you have any kind of storage, or is it just like local memory?
I mean, obviously, I have the SQLite.
Oh, you said SQLite. I missed that. Gotcha.
No. Everything what you see in terms of functionality, there is no need for the SQLite. But for example, people would like to save the scene settings.
Yeah, you kind of need it for your persistence layer, like whatever state you need, right?
More for the settings and some customizations which you do. So for example, in that view, you go to default template. Let's say I don't want to see FPS because I don't know, my camera doesn't support it, and as well I don't want to see the exposure index. And once you close it, you see it's gone from this scene, and you will see only that set of data, because now it's just 3 cameras. But imagine if you have like 50 of them, and you need to see only what's really needed on the screen.
Yeah.
Can
you sort? Yeah. You can sort by priority and things, and do whatever you need. Like if you had 100 cameras, I'm guessing you have more important cameras to keep front and center.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, cool.
I implemented that, and of course.
This is wild.
You can have it in one row. You can have it in the grid. You can like make first 4 cameras bigger, and then like the rest going to become smaller. So yeah, I added quite a lot of customization. So as well, I can control now from the live view, so what's going on my RCP screen. So I'm not touching anything, but you see it's switching the cameras, which is controlling. So maybe it's not that visible. I don't know.
I could kind of see it. Here, let me make you bigger for a second, and then people will see it.
So yeah, for example, once I'm changing it from the live view, it's changing it on the RCP.
Dude, that's cool.
Or vice versa, right? So if I change it there, it changes instantly on my live view. And so if you have the operator behind the RCP and let's say an observer behind the big live view dashboard, they still can do something individually without interfering with each other. So if I open like the quick control, or if I go even to this page where you can have all the possible controls of the camera.
Once you have like the interface figured out, like however like that specific camera and model works, is it pretty easy to just create a component to interface with a new setting at that point without like doing any hardware updates?
Let's say if we will need to add some new camera feature, we still need to go through through our main logic update, because we
so you have to do some sort of like firmware update. Essentially.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. That we need to do, but instead of doing it on C interface and then updating all the devices and things like that, we will be able to ship it here in a live view.
I see. So it's like this is just the easier way to get things out faster versus getting it upgraded across all devices.
Yeah. That's the whole idea, and I don't know. I think there is no cart in it.
What's the overall preference between like using the dashboard on a web browser and the handhelds? Are people starting to lean more towards browser control?
That's still in beta. We didn't, let's say, publicly launch it yet. So we have a couple of people who are playing around with this and testing it out. But some people, I know actually majority of people prefer to have like a physical interface. And some of the people, they say, I want to have one RCP unit per camera. I don't want to switch. I don't want to do anything. I'm going to pay extra, but I would like to have like one RCP, one camera, because to our RCP unit, you can connect, I don't know, 200 at the same time and just switch between them. But they're like, no, I just want to have,
I get that, because I feel like it'd be very easy to be on the wrong camera adjusting things that you think you're adjusting.
So yeah, based on the taste and with the live view, I think we're targeting as well the cinematic market, where I don't know, maybe some fashion shows and maybe events like this where you can adjust quickly everything and do the groups. So, for example, you can make a group and update 3 cameras at the same time. So, I don't know, like the fireworks started right on the concert, you need to lower the exposure or things like that.
Wild. I feel like I need a fancier system now. I gotta like have all my guests match my color, and so everyone's web camera has to match my camera colors.
So yeah, that's kind of gentle introduction how we use the live view on our devices. I can maybe as well show, I don't know what else I can show.
What got you, like, I feel like this is a complicated project. What kind of, have you always done a lot of hardware stuff? Like embedded
never.
systems?
That's my first time when I'm working on the embedded devices, and it's actually fun. You have a lot of different limitations which you never kind of thought of, but then everything slowly starts to make sense.
Yeah, well, in another life, about like 10 years ago, I did a lot of automation and like PLC controls, and I kind of miss it. But I'm kind of thinking after I wrap up my ASH course, I might do some sort of embedded project, because I think it'd be kind of fun.
I know that Nerves is very popular at the moment, and for embedded devices, we are not using it. I guess some historical reasons, and they didn't support some stuff back in the day. Yeah, so I need to run it on the older version. Anyway, so next time I might kind of show a few other better software which we are working at the moment.
No worries. What got you here? How'd you get on this project, essentially? Like,
honestly, this is super random story which happened to me since our last podcast, which we had about Phoenix Analytics. I posted,
that was like a year ago?
Even a bit more maybe.
Okay.
I think we had beginning September. Now it's mid-October, so it was 1 year and months ago. Yeah, I just posted open source library, and I think Lars noticed me, or we were in touch with Lars as well before on some events from Under Yort. He's as well helping organizing a lot of Elixir Erlang events. And that's how he connected me with David, because David was essentially looking for someone who would bring, new interfaces, new solutions, transform a bit towards the cloud and things like that. And I was like, yeah, I was doing all of that. And that's how we started working together, because we have brilliant engineers, Gilan, who've done like everything on what we're building at the moment for the past, I think, 7 or 8 years. And as well, a few other engineers who are helping with doing the firmware part, doing all this cross compilation and etc. And I was not even aware that you can run it on a device, and what you're able to do with the cameras, and that I would never thought of that such problem exists, and it's quite a painful problem, I would say.
Yeah, you never think about all the mechanics behind the scenes of watching something live either, do you?
You just get a nice picture, right? And you get entertained. So you don't think what's the production behind, because half of our work, not our, but when I see the setups, it's as well how to set up the communication between the devices. So to make it remote, like you have IP to IP mesh services, which are doing, I don't know, some low frequency, high bandwidth stuff. Man, that's like alien technology. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm always very impressed by like hardware level engineers that are building devices and communicating over like serial or RS-232 or some random protocol. I don't remember. I'm just babbling at this point, but I used to just hack my way through it when I was doing automation. Like I didn't fully understand what I was doing, but it's hard.
Indeed, it's very interesting. It's very challenging, I would say. For example, I just told you at the beginning, like before we went live, in a normal, let's say, development cycle, you don't think about certain things, right? So like that happened with me with the Stream Deck integration, because we have some Python scripts, we have like some maybe other scripts are running besides Elixir, because it was easy to implement, or it was a temporary thing, which now with us like for 5 years, those temporary things. And I was rewriting the Stream Deck integration, and I was like, "Oh, Python X! Finally, you can run Python from the Elixir process, and you can control it." And with one person from, I forget what was the name, TV Labs, I think. There is a library which allows Python send the native Elixir events to the Gensor. Everything beautiful, right? But then, like, Paul came to me and he was like, "I cannot compile this for the ARM32. Like, it just doesn't support it at all. Like, cross compilation doesn't work." And I was like, "Oh my god!" And I didn't think about that at the beginning. I was like so impressed that it's like so simple. I'll just drag Python files and it's gonna work, and we're gonna reduce the complexity. But no. So it happens.
The learning curve, right? Well, and I think we get so used to just working on, our normal powerhouse PCs and computers, right? And you don't think about the limited like memory and whatever it may be, processing speeds of like smaller devices either.
Yeah, but even with a LiveView, you don't think that, why would I use Stream? I don't know. I have just a couple of elements there, but then you see your memory consumption of the page goes like constantly up, because the render loop is behind of the events which are piling in and things like that. So on your even M1, which is now old, let's say 8 GB RAM, you're not gonna notice that. So It's gonna be like instant. But on a device where you have a lot of other things running on a very tiny processor, that's where the thing's gonna become visible.
Yeah,
like all your mistakes gonna be there.
That's funny. Like you're like a different direction of, so like my learning curve is like with collects, we have tons of users, tons of queries per second, right? So my hard learning curve was a poor performing query can take down our entire app, right? It can just lock things
Yeah.
up and break things. And then you're like the opposite direction, right? You have limited resources and it does the same thing. It breaks everything.
Scaling is the same. Like it's just on a different scope, I would say.
Because we get used to abusing everything on, like, because we have unlimited resources essentially when we're programming for the most part. So like if you have like a small user base, whatever you're doing, you can have a poor performing query and it's not going to matter until it matters, right?
Here you cannot, because you're not going to send the bigger device or bigger processor. There's quite a lot of R&D in it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what else to show about LiveView. So as I mentioned, our main config interface is being rewritten as well. We're going to continue to work on this companion app, which is essentially a duplicate of the RCP functionality, just in a web interface. We will have like more color correction and more features towards that. Custom elements I mentioned, so that will allow us to speed up certain integrations. I posted an article I think a week ago that I compiled this app in a single binary, which ended up like 40 megabytes. So using Burrito and Tauri, so that you can run it on your laptop. And I done it for a reason that, no one wants to install Elixir and run locally and blah, blah, blah. So here is single binary, which uses WebView. It's quite lightweight and you get all this as a nice app.
That's awesome. That's cool.
This is more as an experiment, but probably we will give it a try to some people. And you can export the scene, just does the simple JSON. I don't know if I can to import. So file uploaded, scene imported, but since it's the same, they're identical. But all your settings are preserved and things like that.
That's cool. So how long did it take you to wrap your head around all the different camera settings, what they do, how they're used?
I mean, honestly, since I'm working remotely, and I would say our company in a way distributed, even though we work with the hardware and we work in a quite distributed manner. Mm-hmm. But I would say learning curve was quite challenging, especially because I'm building a lot on top of MQTT topics, and you don't really see what it means in real life. So you cannot have, all the setups next to you around, and you have access to them. So for example, Red Camera comes to us and says, okay, this is our new model. We ship it to you for, I don't know, half a year. You make the integration. We usually ship it back or something like that. Mm-hmm. And that was a bit hard to understand what all the MQTT topic means in our system and how components interact between each other, like different parts of it, like RCP screen, how that reacts.
How do you like mock these like camera models and things to like test against? Like once you like know how they work and you no longer have that hardware, how do you know like your next integration or upgrade or update isn't going to break?
No, that's very simple, because we have like firmware version control, right? Even if it breaks, you just roll back.
So. Yeah, fair. But like without pushing, like how do you like confidently push out an upgrade?
We usually don't touch it. So that's
Okay.
very simple. So if you have a camera on a locked firmware version, and we made an integration with this firmware version of that specific camera, and it works, all the functionality which it supports, we were able to control it remotely, everything displayed nicely, like
Then you just
on
leave
our
it.
RCP, we just leave it, right?
Gotcha.
And then sometimes, very rarely, they do the firmware change. And that firmware change either didn't affect us. If it did, we fix it, we send a new version. So it's up to operator or final user to keep like the correct link between camera version and our version.
That makes sense.
So if
yeah,
they
you kind
want
of
to,
like with hardware, you're not doing updates constantly like you do on
no,
web applications and things where you're just constantly pushing updates.
that's very different, because usually in web, latest the greatest. In our case, not always, because some people might prefer to use some old version because, I don't know, maybe it's a bit faster or
Right.
in
And you're
terms
like
of
pretty
camera
much,
firmware.
you're all in like closed loop networks essentially, right? So you don't really introduce a lot of potential security risks, I'm guessing, right? Or do you?
It's local host only.
Yeah.
It's closed LAN network.
Yeah.
It's not accessible from outside
Yeah.
outside world. So what usually people do, they take the RCP, connect it to the real world, like global internet, pull the update, device refreshes, and then they go back to local network and do things there.
Gotcha. But then like you're kind of introducing cloud stuff with your new LiveView rollout.
We're still thinking how to organize it properly, but likely we will use our relay server, which we currently use for this demo purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And we will think how to make it even more secure that
and then
we have
do you just like
rendering.
whitelist IPs and nothing else can connect?
Something like that. We will
Okay.
figure it out. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. There is a lot of stuff going on, a lot of developments. But
I'm impressed with CyanView, and like yeah, it's hard to wrap your head around everything that it's capable of doing, honestly.
And unfortunately, I don't have some maybe PTZ camera, but yeah, next maybe I should invite David. So he will be really glad to show all the setups we have in the office and go one device by another and go into more details, actually, how it started and how it works. Maybe even from soldering engineering perspective, and he can tell the struggles about production, testing, and yeah, things like that.
Yeah, well, that's cool. Yeah, I'm impressed, man. That's cool.
Yeah, as well, I forgot to mention, but I think I briefly touched on that. So you can control the groups of cameras and change.
Oh, nice! You can do the whole group at once.
Yeah. So you can do that, and yeah,
that's cool, man. Now, what kind of stuff, like, where do you see this going, like, with your LiveView stuff? You said it's not even in beta or testing, really, in other people's hands. But eventually, I'm guessing the goal, because it's probably cheaper to use, like, a web application on localhost to control cameras than creating a ton of hardware devices.
No, we still will. You still need to have... you still need to have the either RCP or Rio next to your camera.
That makes sense, because that's what the camera's plugging into, right?
Yeah, that's what holds the integration logic, and that's must. But what you will be able to do, and maybe we will make it more accessible towards people, because you can have a Rio connected to the camera, and then you just need a dashboard. So you won't need an RCP to do it. So we're still discussing internally how better position it. So at the moment we gave it to test because, this screen, I didn't know how to organize yet, and we're gathering feedback, because what you're able to do, so you can do your absolutely custom build.
Nice.
It's not persisted yet for a simple reason, because we wanted to get the feedback before jumping into full implementation, and some components are not really unified. Because, for example, here you have knobs. Here I tried as well to do the same knobs, but somewhere you have like pedals like this.
I see.
But if I hold the mouse, it has the continuous press feature. So yeah,
Now,
we wanted to.
Like I imagine getting, I keep forgetting the name. Is it the RCP is the one with all the knobs?
RCP, like this
Yeah,
one.
your RCP unit. Like what I see is now you have an awesome like web app, right, on localhost. Just grab a tablet and you got like the same thing. Just make it mobile friendly, right?
That's exact use case. So here is my tablet, and it's just there.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Yeah, so that's as well one of the use cases.
I feel like the hardest part with tablets and touchscreens is how to adjust things easily and precisely, right?
I tried to make a good work, but let's see what end users gonna say.
There's just something to be said about physical buttons and knobs sometimes versus touchscreens. It's hard to replicate because when I was like in the manufacturing world, I replaced a lot of knobs and buttons with touchscreens, but like sometimes it's easier because you have to always look at a touchscreen, I feel like, when you're adjusting, but a knob, you can kind of have muscle memory.
That's the thing. So because they want to, let's say, blind typing in a way, that you have hands on the knobs and you look at the screen and you see like how actually picture changed. And yeah, maybe for some features still on the iPad you can do zoom, you can do pan and tilt. Yeah, we will see where it's gonna go. So at the moment it's let's say in private beta, and we're gathering the feedback, but definitely it will speed up certain things and allow us to do like more custom things.
Yeah, no, I think that's really cool. It's a cool problem to solve, and like it's used in the real world on huge broadcasts all the time. Yeah.
I'm not sure if I will leave it to David. I'm not gonna name any companies, which
Yeah, don't name drop. Don't name drop.
NDAs, but big companies are using it. Olympic Games, Super Bowl, Le Mans race. We had 160 cameras, I think, connected.
Oh, wow.
From the driver view, like next to the driver. There were like small cameras which were connected to one RCP unit and were controlled.
Is there a limit to how many cameras can connect?
Actually, I'm not sure what's the limit. I think 200. It's kind of production limit. I can't imagine if you need more than 200 cameras to film one event.
Eventually, I don't know. Like. Imagine, so like, I don't know. I just imagine like I feel like some sporting event, we're going to start putting body cameras on all the athletes, and then you could have tons of cameras.
Yeah, but you're not going to control all of them from one screen, because probably, let's say, the ones which they put on the referee, it's going to be for one control room who is checking offsites. And
that's true. That makes sense. Yeah.
and the cinematic will be a separate one.
You'll segregate everything. Yeah.
So I cannot really imagine the case where you will need, I don't know, more than 200 cameras connected to one device.
Some guy at the control booth just has like VR glasses on, and he's just got thousands of cameras.
That might be the case, and then have just the iPad and.
I've always been tempted to, like, I love the idea of like AR and like replacing my monitors and just wearing goggles, but I feel like it wouldn't be that comfortable.
I'm not sure, because I'm getting a bit sick and my head starts to hurt like in, 20 minutes. After
I've heard that. I feel like that would happen to me too, because I don't like any ride where your chair moves in front of a screen, like any amusement park where they tip the whole building and you feel like you're flying and it's just a screen moving. I get so sick.
So I would maybe try some AR glasses, but not the ones which are, to having too much of a features.
Yeah.
So this is actually quite recent photos from IBC where we were. And for example, you see
that's wild. Yeah, you got like servo controllers on the lens.
Yeah, on the focus, on zoom. And we were able, Nicola just finished the integration during the IBC.
Wow.
And they're able to control it through IP when you just connect it to our device. So that's one of the use cases. This is our VP4, how it looks. So on the back side, you have the SDI in and SDI out. So that's one of the use cases with this speciality, like small cameras. You can distantly, remotely control them. So yeah, our box is 4 times bigger than the entire camera. Here you see the example, like small specialty cameras, which we had as a demo stand. Stream Deck integration, like that's the micro one, I think for 6 buttons.
Nice. Dude, I love Stream Deck. It's so nice.
It's usually just for some camera switching, and we have like few more features there. And as you might notice, we have the RCP like with this iris joystick, and
awesome.
we have like the cropped version.
Okay.
The smaller one. So essentially, it's like 2 different components which talk through MQTT again. So it's like 2 separate devices.
Yeah, that's
almost
cool.
And here there was one of the setups with a red camera.
Does every camera require its own like controller?
If you want to control it remotely, yes, and it's going to be much lower latency, because you send a command like straight to the camera from our device, and it gives you the flexibility that you don't need to be plugged into the LAN. So our box in that case was connected to IP mesh, and then you can go, I don't know, 3-4 kilometers away.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I'm not sure if I have the photos here, but yeah. About code organization, I was mentioning that, but I'm not going to mention it probably anymore. We have a lot of apps in our beautiful monolith, and then we just take whatever we need and make a build.
I feel like just hardware, it's such a different world. Like, I don't think software engineers really realize that till they start getting their fingers in it.
You're just getting different limitations, I would say, because in web, yes, because the computing power became much, much cheaper, and you can render stuff on users' devices. Like Postgre now holds, I don't know, million concurrent connections, right? You don't really need to take care of like concurrency writes, concurrency reads, and most of the things are kind of solved. But here, you need to have great support for binary reverse engineering. And actually, Elixir does that because it doesn't do it doesn't copy things into the memory. So you don't need to reallocate the memory. So you save a lot of things when you do, for example, binary pattern matching in Elixir.
Yeah.
So that's
nice and easy for us, right?
In web, you're not going to use it.
Yeah.
Like in your normal Phoenix app, there is no place where that would make sense, unless you do some parser for binary format, right?
It's rare if you have to go all the way to binary, right? But when you're talking embedded systems, all of a sudden now you do.
Yeah. So, and as I was mentioning about like MQTT, everything, the whole functionality and the source of truth is baked there. And one of the things we implemented, so once you subscribe to certain like specific topic, you get all the data back. So it's kind of Kafka in a way, but it's not like very persistent. So it doesn't store all the things, it just stores the latest values. So that's the customization we have on top of MQTT. And yeah, we can talk endlessly why Elixir, but I would say in our world, you don't have place for a mistake, like you cannot afford it. So it should work 100%.
It kind of seems like it's almost the perfect pattern for this kind of implementation, right? It's just like it's very physical. You can kind of imagine each device or camera in this case just being its own process essentially.
Of course, it's its own gen server, and I will tell you more. You not always get an acknowledgement from the camera that it received the command. Like some of them just don't support it. You just fire an event and you pray. So
you just send in casts essentially, right? And
yeah, like
how, like what are you doing? I'm guessing like you're kind of doing like message passing, right? Like, so do you verify something has changed when it does?
Yeah, of course. It pretty much depends, because we have, I think I calculated before RTC on conference, we support 27 different protocols.
Okay.
Like TCP, HTTP, UDP, Ember Plus, and then like going to the most exotic ones, which
like whatever Sony or whatever camera company created their own one, right?
Yeah.
That's wild, dude. Yeah.
And so sometimes, for example, this binary matching part, I think it was taken like, once you receive back something from the camera based on that, do this. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with.
Yeah, this is wild. It's cool. It's cool to see solutions like this existing and solving really pretty obvious problems, but it's just cool to just see something so complex integrated in such a simple way.
I guess that's what we're trying to do, to get the most complex things and make them as easy as possible and unified, which is in our industry not really unified. But that's the key struggles we're solving.
I bet you really wish that all the camera manufacturers had protocols that they all use together.
Maybe yes and no, because I guess our biggest value at the moment is the
Is
10
solving
years of
that.
R&D, because
Yeah.
we came this and still overcoming, because new cameras coming to the market, I don't know, protocols changing and etc. If everyone going to use the same protocol, it's, I guess, not in their interest. It's like, imagine if Android would start using Swift.
Right. That would be
It,
nice.
it's ain't happening. or Apple gonna move to Kotlin, right?
Yeah.
Maybe in a parallel world.
Well, I mean, like CyanView is in a really good position, right? Because barrier to entry is pretty high.
It's huge.
Yeah.
We have competitors, but I would say we're far away.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, I mean, like I could look at this and figure it out and like build an integration, right? But it would be so hard to cover all the products and all the different cameras, you know?
Key study, workflow examples. Yeah, if anyone is interested, we have a couple of things on our website. So, for example, that's the camera I was saying with I don't know 200x zoom.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's how setups might look like.
That's so wild, dude. Different world.
And that's how the production looks like. Like the
Oh,
remote
those are a
production.
bunch of your RCPs too,
Yes.
just lined up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have like the main screen, and then you have how to say, like a secondary where you see the vignette preview, and that's usually like on the main screen what goes.
So do you guys have to send out and like help set up these systems? I'm guessing so, a little bit.
We have a hybrid. So yeah, sometimes David, Mike, Renaud, and some maybe I think Nicolas was as well jumping a few times on the production and helping set up and wire everything up. In most cases, people are able to do it by themselves. So
okay.
unless it's some super complicated way of doing things, like in the mountains, one of the cases we had. But yeah, otherwise it's hybrid. Sometimes for big events and big companies, David jumps himself and helps them out. We can do most of the things remotely. They just give us the internet access before they going live. So it's fine. We can connect to our devices. We see how it's configured, how it's set up, and yeah.
This is cool. I'm like mind blown. But
so
cool.
that's what I was saying. So you can connect them via Wi-Fi, and then you don't need to have like any wires, and yeah, the cameraman can run with the whole setup. Yeah, if anyone interested, we have it listed on our website. If you just click products, and then here you'll have a case study and workflow examples, and you will see how different productions are done.
Really cool.
So some sport events to the CUZ.
I feel like we have to like do an Elixir event with all this. Do something cool. I don't know.
Yeah, so I hope people get the new dimension where they can use the Elixir and how they can use it.
Yeah, I feel like this example is really cool to physically understand how Elixir, like the supervision tree works.
It works great.
Yeah, it's cool. I love it.
Yeah. Should I stop share and maybe we answer some questions from the chat?
Yeah, if anyone has questions, pile them in now, and yeah, otherwise we can just start to wrap this thing up. But this was really cool. I really appreciate you coming back on and going through this. And yeah, if David ever wants to come on, I'll have to get his contact info from you, and that would be a fun guest
Well,
too.
I will connect you, of course, for sure.
Yeah.
So he will be, I think, more nerdy into details of every, of absolutely every detail, because I don't have that much of a knowledge.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the barrier to
Because
hardware is big.
one of the things I got really confused. We have like red knob, we have a blue one, but there is no green knob. And like in the MQTT, you have like red, blue together, and then I see that it was like added years after, like a green one. And I'm like, hey, David, how come? What's the historical reason? He's like, it's a very, very long story. But apparently back in the day, cameras didn't support green as a separate
Oh, wild.
value. And I was like, oh my God, I would never thought of that.
No, that's crazy. So like 10 years of I'm sure camera technology has just changed so much too in 10 years.
I mean, for the mirrorless, I don't know, maybe.
They've been probably the same since that came out.
The main value of those cameras, it's full frame sensor and quality of lenses, right? And
Right.
then everything else as a remote control, remote shading. I have a feeling that it's a secondary thing for them, because maybe some people use post-production, and not maybe everyone use it for the live. And if they use it for the live events, of course, that's where it would be nice to have a IP first controls and things like that.
Yeah. Dude, crazy. I just think about all the learning curve and pain that I went through just streaming consistently with consistent quality, because like something always went wrong at the beginning for me. Like it was either like bad quality for the video for like I was having issues streaming some of my guests, and it's all these stupid little settings that I really don't know what they're doing, but I've tweaked them and they work now.
And imagine it's just one camera. So what
Right.
you do with like 50?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like it's mind blowing. But I guess we don't have any questions. I think it's just so far above everyone's head. I think you just blew a lot of minds today.
That's the issue I had during the conference when I was giving the talk. I was like, I had the feeling that I completely lost the audience, because I was like, okay, maybe no one is like interested in, or I don't know, it's boring, nerdy topic, maybe wrong like target, maybe wrong topic for that audience. But no, like everyone at the end was like, wow, we didn't expect that Elixir can
It's
be used.
cool. I think the problem is, right, when you hit a subject that you're not that familiar with, you're still like impressed by it, right? But you don't know what questions to ask, because you're like still absorbing all the information,
It's definitely. I mean, it's 1 year in, but I keep.
Yeah, it's a really cool
things.
project. Honestly, I was like kind of looking at it before this talk, but I didn't realize the vastness of products and what you were actually doing. And it's really cool to see. It's really cool.
And as well, a lot of networking, and networking in Erlang plus Elixir is great. I mean, out of the box, you can do a lot of things in Elixir. And I was like even thinking, like, what if it would be in Golang, right? Or which was not a thing 10 years ago. But then I see that, you will have a lot of issues implementing it in another language or technology.
Yeah. It's just a distributed system for camera controls. And that would be like, we take for granted the simplicity we have using like Erlang or, you know, the Beam, right? And it would be a very hard system to build in anything else.
I don't think that there is anything like even close. Maybe I was back in the day working with Scala, but still, no. Like it compiles to JVM, and it's not a real actor system. It's like an abstraction on top, right? But here, like all the processes are really isolated, and you have great concurrency, you have great fault tolerance. Most, I think, people who never dealt with all those issues at once, because I remember when we had a website which we had to scale to 5 million active users in PHP, right? You do Golang static workers on top, you do horizontal scaling, you do database sharding, you do that, you do this. And then like one of my senior developers, colleagues, he comes to me and he says, and I wrote entire script, like 30 plus scaling methods and patterns. And then he comes and says, you know what? Everything what you wrote was done like 30 years ago by Armstrong, who developed the Beam machine. And I was like, oh my God, but why no one is using it?
It's wild, right?
I was like, why I was doing that in like PHP? Like it's there.
39 years ago, these problems were solved. And isn't it cool to see like with like Mike Hostetler, like with his like bunch of sub agents and all that, like all these new problems we're running into are solved with something solved 39 years ago.
Exactly. I mean, we're just going through the cycles, because we went through the separate JavaScript clients, and now we're back on the server side.
Yeah.
I mean, we just go in circles in software engineering world.
And we don't remember our mistakes for some reason.
It's like, no.
Yeah, who knows? I guess it keeps us employed for now.
AI agents, the future.
I think like I don't see us being replaced, but I do see our workflow being extremely different.
Yeah, I see it more as a calculator, honestly.
Yeah. I think we'll forget how to write like raw code a lot, but we'll always be able to read it and like know what it's doing. I think you'll have to, or you're going to be generating potentially really shitty code. But
I see where all LLMs at the moment failing once you start dealing with something a bit more complex, which requires like, you know, broader picture. So
yeah,
it works great if you'd say, I need HTML template looking nice, whatever, minimalistic, use
the
Daisy
small
UI.
scale stuff, small hobby, like what we vibe coded last weekend. You know, like
that's perfect. The whole specification fits in, I don't know, 200 markdown lines. That's fine.
I mean, that's just the next problem to be solved is going to be context size, or like how we do that, right? And it'll get better and better.
I think in terms of coding, maybe. In terms of engineering, no, because engineering, that's more, you need to be advanced, let's say, in JavaScript to understand how the rendering loop works there. If you want to optimize it, let's say in our case, right, for the device, on an embedded device, if you're gonna show to the LLM, like, hey, look, I'm running it on very, very low spec processor, and it doesn't know anything about your architecture, it doesn't know how to do the live view optimization. Okay, maybe it would think of a throttler, but how to make it efficient in our case, because, you know, we have multimetrics as a separate component, everything else is a form, we should not re-render both at the same time and things like that. So
that's true.
That's where the LLMs are failing.
Yeah, you're gonna need kind of probably the captain of the ship, which is us, right?
Yeah. Like, so you need to have this broader picture in mind, be able to solve it first in your mind, and how you would connect those components between each other. I think
Yeah.
that's what LLM's not going to take from us.
Yeah. Well, and it's hard to, like, who knows? Like, it's hard to see how it will advance, right? Advance, but yeah, we're always going to have more and more complicated problems to solve. So it's hard to see, like, you can't replace a human, not yet, but I think it'd
No,
be
no.
really hard to. Because, like, right now, LLMs are great for going through large amounts of data, maybe recognizing patterns that are harder for a human to pick up on. And, like, there's things, but that's not going to be good at everything.
Yeah, for example, in our industry, right, in the broadcast, so through the entire IBC, which is kilometers of exhibits, right, everyone showcasing all their setups, AI was less than 1%.
Mm.
So there is no hype about AI, for example, in our industry, because everyone understands that you have a professional director who has a name to it, right? Who made successful films, and he knows how the picture, how the colors, how everything's supposed to look like, how it's supposed to feel. And then you have LLM, which is, yeah, it can probably match the pixels, right? It might going to do the shading, but it's not going to have feelings.
Yeah. You know, I'm curious, are you going to be able to implement like AI at all for color adjustment across cameras, or would it be very difficult?
Like, we need to convert first the analog world into digital,
Yeah.
and then do some stuff on top of that. So not in the nearest
Like it would be hard because like I'm
pipeline.
guessing you have to have like some sort of like base for like your whites or greens, right? That you'd put in front of the camera, or like
Yeah.
how do you adjust it?
You
Something like that? Yeah.
you have it's just piece of paper, with the special colors, and then
Hmm.
you put each camera, you shade it, you change the values, and then you see that this palette is matching. So it's just literally printed palette.
But I feel like something like that you could probably leverage AI slightly, right? Like you hold the paper in front of the camera, you have it self adjust,
Yeah,
or I don't know, could be cool.
might be, but
Yeah. It's not the easiest. I know it's like it's just as simple as that.
just like, hey, Claude, adjust the colors, please.
Prompt it. Adjust the colors. Make sure all these 100 cameras match. Thank you.
And we expose all our logic as one MCP. So yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you could control it. You could have your own, right? Because you're on closed loop networks and things, and it could just be your own
Llama.
LLM. Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe.
You're like,
You
I don't
never
want to
know.
think. I don't want to think about that right now. It sounds like a lot of work.
Or we will ship just what was the new Mac Mini or something with a lot of memory,
There you go.
and yeah, put the
Yeah.
Llama there or whatever local LLM.
There you go.
Maybe.
I think you got to do it. Just do it tomorrow. Just prompt it, and get it done.
Yeah, like Saturday
Yeah.
project.
Just vibe it, dude.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
I think we can wrap things up. This was a lot of fun. It's CyanView is a really cool product.
Yeah, I hope in the beginning of November we will enlighten a bit more in the details how Elixir is essentially helping us, because I have the feeling that we utilize, I would say, like maybe close to 70-80% of all Elixir and Beam features.
Mm-hmm.
Because I must say, when I do web development in Elixir, I use like 10%. of capabilities of what it allows you to do outside of the box.
So I'm curious, like, you have devices that can basically, they can have power or not have power at an instance. Like how do you control just a node dropping on and off? Are you just totally relying on like the beam and distributed nodes?
They send events to each other through MQTT. Like
yeah.
If it's went offline and you don't have the callback or acknowledgement back, like it means something is off. Then each device has usually the IP in the configuration. And if this IP becomes unreachable, which you can ping through, that's another way of doing that. But we have Elixir custom relay server. We run Elixir on actual device. We have, supervision trees everywhere, like server on the device. We have binary pattern matching, which allows us to do any reverse engineering with any protocol. We have now LiveView running on the device and in the future in the cloud. We have a lot of NIFs where we're using C, for example, to compile 3D LUT files, which we then put on a FPGA module to do pixel correction from raw SDI and give back the raw SDI output. I mean, name me the language which supports that out of the box.
That's wild. Yeah, no, that's so cool. I have not done anything with NIFs, but I feel like it unlocks. You have unlimited capabilities just with able to pretty much embed any language inside of Elixir.
A compiled language, preferably.
Right.
I mean, like C, Rust. I think Rust is now, like, with this Rustler, is becoming very popular. I don't, man. At the conference, someone was like asking me, like, but why do you use C? Like, why didn't you use Rust? Rust is like really cool. I honestly like never used Rust on that specific case, but I was like, isn't Rust like slow? Like you had to see their faces.
Yeah.
Like they went wild.
Dude, Rust guys, man, you can't insult Rust.
And they were like, he's saying Rust is slow. What the hell they're doing?
Oh man. Yeah. There's always drama in that community. I don't even want to be part of it.
I'm not going into that, but yeah, I mean, we use C for some computations.
I mean, C makes sense, like if you're gonna do something low level, why not C?
Yeah. We have no choice.
Right.
We're running the custom Yocto Linux, and C is the way to go as well. We have some drivers here and there.
That's awesome, man. All right, well, thank you, Daniil. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you very much.
Thanks everyone that tuned in. We had like quite a bit of people tuning in, but it was a very quiet audience. So I think you were just mind-blowing people.
I mean, it's Friday, everyone.
It is Friday. Now I have a lot to get done today. So
for me, that's it. Then I'll decompress. You're done?
Nice. All right, man. Well, it was great chatting again, and we'll keep in touch. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Testing.